I'm not muted, but I think I forgot no audio still. Well, I don't know. It looks... I see the meter. I see the meter is moving. Oh, crap. Oh, now you can hear... Okay, there must just be... There's a long delay then. Yeah, the phantom power to my microphone was off, so it wasn't muted, just the mixer I'm plugged into, it didn't have the power for the mic. So there you go. You got to turn on your phantom power for these fancy microphones or nothing happens. And so anyways, what was I talking about? Oh my god, I said probably some of the coolest stuff ever and I can't remember, but I promise you it was awesome. But it included welcome everybody, Promethean hails, all that, you know, the general boilerplate stuff that always happens in the beginning. And whoo, boy, that, you know, that wore me out, all that stress right there. I just lost about 2 years of my life. Let's see if anyone's here. I see you guys are here, so just playing around. Evil Author is here. Good to see you, brother. And I is here, and Hallender's here. Welcome, my friends. And Jason is here. Let's rock! Hales, brother, good to see ya. American Counter Rev 2025 is here. Craig the Man. Roused Rose, my sweetie, who was yelling at me, and I couldn't tell what she was saying, but I knew it was something audio. It had to be. Either that or the mic was or the camera was pointed at a weird spot. But I can see it's not, so. And I can see the level, so how I didn't notice that, I don't know. But I see you guys saying that I was muted. Sunny Jim is here, welcome. And, oh, there's hundreds of you. It's just, there's thousands of people in the chat. It's hard to keep up with. I need to turn off top chat so I can see who's really here. Yes, the Unifier is here. Welcome, sister. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Alright, I think we're good now, right? Samuski and Promethean Reckoning. Got a full house. Kip, that's right, keep it Promethean. Oh, I've got some kind of gnat or something flying around in here. Okay, I'm prepared to take your word for it, Fornull. Thank you, because it really was. It was some great stuff. If I remember it later, I'll say it, but odds are it's like those, you know, when you're a spy and you've got the message like on Get Smart, and it's this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. And that's what it's like in my brain. The message already self-destructed. YouTube hid yours and Yiz's streams from me. I even went to each of your channels and no stream listed. Oh yeah, well Samuski, I got an email today that YouTube said, well, you know, we don't like what you're doing or whatever. I can't remember how they worded it. It was just, sounded bitchy to me. It was just like, wah, wah, wah. But basically said, we're gonna take away a bunch of your powers, you know, the stuff you can do. You can't do this and that and whatever. But I saw that they didn't take away that I can stream, so I was happy about that. I don't know. I shared the secret of the universe while muted. That's right. Something extremely secret. You're beset by phantoms, wraiths, and sturges right off the bat. That's right. But having overcome these foes, the Dragonsynth will boom on evermore fervent. That's right. That sounds like our D&D campaign. Alright, well let's just listen to some music and then I'll be talking to you in a second. I'll just be rambling on nonsensically for 2 hours non-stop, most likely. Well, there might be little pauses here and there. You know, because I'll have to go take a squirt or something, take a dump, but then I'll be back, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. Just a whole lot of fun. What? Yeah. So I'm heading out to the highway. I got nothing to lose at all. And I'm gonna do it my way. Take a chance before I fall. A chance before I fall. Anyways, that's just pretty goofy, but it was fun. It was fun. And that's all I recorded of it. I didn't record the whole dang song. They'd have to pay me millions to do that. Run in fear, Ivan is here. And Jay Bishop is here with American flags and fists pumping and guitars. Awesome. Thanks, Jason. Jason wrote, "Great rock in peace, brother." Rock in peace. Hey, Vexed Peril, good to see ya. I found my way into the You did. I love this one. I have sprinkled a little bit of Highlander all over tonight, like a special seasoning. So what's going on, you guys? I just finished up dinner, and that was about a pound of ground beef with a fried egg on top, and a bunch of Worcestershire sauce. After I ate the egg, of course. And it was good. Hey, Jason, I loved your story on Sunday. That was some very nice prose. You had to have written that out. I mean, that couldn't just have been stream of conscious off the top of your head. If it is, you're lucky. No wonder you can write awesome books if it is. I just started a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time. It's been on my bookshelf, but I've been so busy doing other things. I just haven't taken, made the time, because you got to make the time to do stuff, right? Because there's so many things I want to do all the time, creative things, and then maintenance on the house and all that good stuff. But every once in a while, at least a couple of times a year, I'll go through a phase where it's like, okay, I'm going to read some books now. And so I am reading Gene Wolfe, the what's it called? The New Sun, or I can't remember what it's called, the series. But I got them all. And I started reading it, and man, I can already tell it's going to be awesome. I mean, I know it's going to be. Those books are legendary. But starts out, and it's just awesome right from the start. Like, these guys have crossed a river, it's nighttime, there's fog, tendrils, they're at a gate with bars, and there's a stone wall around this area. They want to get in there and con their way in. And apparently there's a bunch of graves in there, and these graves are being protected by volunteers because there's a war, and people are coming and stealing the bodies or stealing the stuff from the bodies. But I think they're more worried about the bodies being stolen. So these guys, the narrator, he's with a group of people. They sound like, grave robbers, I guess. I don't know. Bandits or something. They get in there, and then all hell breaks loose. Some guy's got a gun, and I thought it was, I don't even know what the setting is really yet. I know very little about it, but I thought it was kind of a medieval fantasy. Guy's got a pistol, probably a smoothbore pistol, some type. And some other guy, some other party in there, some other group, grave robbing. And then somehow he gets mixed up with these people. Yeah, don't spoil it, Highlander. Jason says he did that on the spur of the moment. That's amazing. That's really impressive. Well, that's pretty awesome, dude. I'm super impressed. Because those were some choice words. Some really choice words just streaming out there. It would take me... I'd have to iterate on a story like that 3 or 4 times, and it still probably wouldn't come out that good. That is not my craft at all, is wordsmithing. It says, I had planned to talk, Jason wrote, I'd planned to talk about the Isnik's conversation about talking to white children, but as I started, the story just took me along for the ride. That's cool. And Yiz wrote, I enjoyed hearing your stream last night, Jason. It was nice to know you had a positive experience. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, it was a great stream, hearing all about the stuff, and then just everything else you were talking about, you know, how to raise a kid. Not how to raise them, but just as in regards to anti-whiteism, how to handle that. And I totally agree with you. Absolutely, 100%. Wish I knew all this stuff when I was raising my kids. I mean, they're in their 20s and 30s now, but... And of course, I've exposed it to them all. They got the books and stuff, but yeah, I wish I knew all this back then. It really would have helped, for sure. And I don't care. I wouldn't have been scared. Like, what will the teacher say if my kid says, hey, don't talk crap on... I mean... I can see people just being cucks about it. That's never been my problem. Looking for an excuse to be rebellious. So if I can rebel against anti-whiteism, and had known about all this stuff, I totally would have done it. No problem. Anyways. Odele Vatos, what's happening? What's happening, Forest Mag Dump? I was talking about taking a dump earlier, but not a mag dump. Take a mag dump. And JK160's here. Hails, brother. There's definitely a difference between the two. Absolutely. Not that both couldn't be painful under the wrong conditions. That's what they have in common. For the wrong people. People. Well, I must truly not have a whole lot to say tonight. Must truly not. I had a busy day. I was working hard. And then I couldn't get the sound to work, and I thought, okay, you know, I saw that email, and then from YouTube, so I was kind of worried maybe my stream wouldn't be right, even though I didn't see anything that said I couldn't stream. And then my audio was messed up, and I didn't really think about anything like, what do I want to talk about? Howlander writes, no white... I like barely said his name. Howlander writes, no white guilt has a silver tongue. He provides us with the silver with which to cleanse our rivers. Well, I'm not a wordsmith, so I couldn't quite make that metaphor work the way I wanted. Hal's pretty good with words, too, and English isn't even his native language. In our D&D game, Hal's character is really funny. He's always doing unexpected things and quirky things, and I like it. It keeps things interesting. We have another player that does that, maybe inadvertently. I don't know. But I like the creativity put into it. Makes it fun. Makes it more fun. It's already fun. Clickety-clack, Ivan is back. And he's not wick-wick-whack. X-Peril writes, stayed up all night to get a Mexican after a webless fortnight of reading. I have no idea what that means. It'll probably dawn on me later and I'll go, why did I read that out loud? The Jason has, oh yes, and Ivan chiming in here too. The Jason has a silver tongue. Ivan has the bleeding gums. Yeah. Fornull, do you or anyone know about using oil diffusers? You mean like the aromatic kind of oil diffuser, or is this something like for a fuel injection mixing jet fuel and oil to just the right proportions? I don't know. I know a little bit about water diffusers. Those are kind of interesting how they work, because they vibrate the water extremely fast. So fast that it turns into vapor. Isn't that interesting? Turns it into vapor. The vibrations. It's not heat. You know, it's not steam. That's how they vaporize things. That's one way how they do it. The water vaporizer. It's a vibrator. It's a mega... What's something that's super fast? What word would we use for that? A hyper vibronic... I don't know. Jason wrote that I read that lavender oil in a diffuser promotes quality sleep. Oh, I bet it smells great. Yeah? We use them around here. We've got couple of them. And Mrs. Fornull has this whole... I bought her this wood case with all these nice engravings on it and little slots in it for your essential oils, and she's got quite the collection of essential oils and a cool place to keep them, and she will bust that out and make the house smell really good. Like an oscillator, yeah. Yeah, that's probably what's driving it. You know, you've just got some extremely high speed, very short wave oscillator moving some kind of a diaphragm, probably almost like like how a speaker would work, but way faster and a much smaller surface. And that water on top of it just vaporizes. And then there is air blowing up from underneath it, forces it out. It shakes with the force of 20 hostile massage beds. A massage bed. That's funny. Me and my dad used to go different places when I was younger. You know, I'd go to tournaments and stuff like that, karate tournaments, but me and him would go places and like on our way to Lancaster, different deserts where we were going to camp out and ride motorcycles and things like that. And sometimes we'd stay in those motels. Yeah, and I remember those massage beds. Those are pretty weird. Me and we would have fun too. We would we'd find a store wherever we were at. We'd go to the store and buy a big thing of salami, some mustard, ice for our ice chest. And then I would get Nutter Butters, but not the wafers, the ones that were shaped like peanuts. And he would get Oreos. But I'd end up eating his Oreos too, and we would pig out on milk and Oreos. And salami. Regarding lavender specifically, I would believe that. The lavender is a very soothing smell. What's that smell? The smell of rain. What do they call that? I love that smell too. Can't remember what you call it. I'll look it up here. Petrichor? It might be petrichor. There's another one though. There's another word. But yeah, that smell of rain is so good. And they have some of those oils that kind of simulate that to some degree. Fornull, did you hear that earlier today Jeff Bezos sent half a dozen or so right hose into space? What? Jeff Bezos. No. I didn't have a chance to get online hardly at all today to, check stuff out. I think I watched Mark Dice this morning, and that was it. Launches Katie. Oh, you're not joking. What? Is this satire? This can't be real. All female crew, including pop singer Katy Perry and CBS Morning co-host Gayle King, for a short trip to space. Oh, they're not going to... Okay, space. Yeah, what is space? Define space. They're just going to very low orbit, I'm sure. I mean, has anyone ever... I guess we went to the moon. I guess. Don't get me started on that. It could happen. I know it could happen. It's crazy, though, when you look at the equipment they use to pilot that shuttle there. And then the taking off from the moon and the driving of that cart on the moon and all, it's so wacky. It's hard to believe. I won't say definitely it didn't happen, but some of that footage is just nutty looking. But that is, that's going out into space. But these things that orbit the Earth in relationship to how big the Earth is and how far things are, I mean, they're barely any distance relatively from the Earth at all. So it's like not space. I think of space like, you're in deep space. You're going to different planets or at least the moon. Yeah, okay. Well, I didn't hear about that. I thought that was a joke because I saw a picture and I was thinking, okay, this is some kind of joke, it's a meme or something. But no, I guess it is real. Wow. And they made it back already? Did they make it back? For their 5 o'clock talk shit on white people appointment? I know space is not on Earth or another planet, but I mean, you have to go through space, outer space, as I think about it, to get to those places. Get to another planet. Jeff fell on his face running to the rocket where it landed. Okay, we'll have to look that up. I forgot what it's called, but there's a movie about how NASA made a movie on a set of the moon landing just in case the actual landing failed. Who knows if any of it's true or not. Oh yeah, there's so many. And then, you see that footage where they're filming out of the window and they're saying they're looking at Earth. But then if you've seen the whole footage, they've made like a pinhole. And when they move that piece of paper that's creating that effect on the camera, they're in low orbit. And they're saying they aren't. So there was definitely some misrepresentation of footage when that was happening, and some misunderstanding of what the footage was supposed to be portraying. And, there's just so much hype around it with clear evidence that, yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell what thing that I'm looking at is real and what isn't. What's just the faked stuff, to show people so they could visualize it. Who knows? But it's amazing. I've collected so much of the Apollo moon landing information, as many photos as I could get, the code to the computer, as much of the audio tapes, as much of the film, the maps of where they flew over and where they landed, and I was very interested in all that stuff at one time. And not to debunk it, but just to learn all about it and think about that, if that was real, which it could be. Those guys are piloting this spacecraft that's this super primitive thing. It's insanity. It's really insane, yeah. I was gonna watch the Trump thing today, but while I worked, I just listened to it, but my internet was messing up and it kept freezing, and so I couldn't really watch it, and I haven't gone back. I was just kind of interested what that was all about. What was the focus of that? Some kind of repatriation / trade negotiations? I don't know. Those are some big boobed witches. But who knows, they could be fake. That's just their illusion they're casting. They're probably hideous. Because you know witches, if they have magic, the first thing they're gonna do is make themselves as sexy as possible. And then once they've mastered that, they've brought back their youth and look seductive, then they, focus on the other things. Well, that's probably how they're gonna get to the other things, so. More of those witches, more! Bring on the witches! Did he really fall on his face? Did he fall? I gotta see that. Or was he just so eager? It just looked like it, figuratively speaking. Oh, he falls, okay. Literally falls, okay. Huh. See. Is there video of it? Or just pictures? It says 25 seconds, like I'm gonna watch a video, and then it doesn't. Oh, here we go. Okay, I see him. He's looking in. Oh, he fell. He fell in a little. That's funny. Oopsie. Make themselves comely, yes. Of course. Big titty female witches, yep. I've been practicing guitar lately. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I want to record some music with the guitar. Well, I don't have any direction yet on what I want to do with it. Upbeat stuff. So were they really astronauts or astronauts? They were astronauts. His dog Astro. Do. Fornullian music on the horizon. These are good omens. Ah, thank you, brother. We'll see. We'll see if it comes to fruition. I had a bunch of songs in the works. Some of them were really cool. And then it just sort of petered out. Was weird. Something, a glitch. I don't know if that happened on your guys' side, but it went like ding a ding a ding a ding. I was going through my catalog of songs. I've recorded a bunch of songs over the past couple years and not released any of it, or some of it. And I assume it's because I didn't think it was good enough, but I've totally forgotten what it is. I'm kind of bummed I can't find the master. I can't find the multi-track recordings of March of Titans, so it bums me out because I'd like to take those drums and those different sounds and use them again. The setup in my DAW, I could just delete the audio, for the guitars and vocals and just record something else there, and that'd be fun. I can't find it. That's a bummer. It might be, there's one hard drive I have that it might be on. But it's on a computer that's like packed away, so I have to get that thing out and look it up. Here's a song called 12 Hanging Bells. I don't know if this is good. It might be total garbage. Oh yeah, see, I don't like this. If it does anything. Yeah, it's kind of mechanical. I agree. It's not... That's probably why I didn't ever release it. It was something I tried and said, nah, it didn't work. Here was another one. I don't know what it is. Craft work. It's all right. But like I said, the new stuff, it has to have featured guitars. I want to play guitar. I want to play bass. I want there to be song, lyrics, vocals. Copy strike myself. There you go. Katy Perry says she felt love when she came down, and that she felt the divine feminine. Men get her into space, and that's what she feels. Well, hey, I mean, she may be onto something. The divine feminine is when men get you into space. Or you land a rich husband, start feeling that divine feminine. Oh, I'm just playing around. Well, that's cool. She had a moment. She was... I mean, can you imagine? It'd be an amazing experience. Good for her. I don't like her. But, because she could be using her fame to defend white people. But I'm sure it was an amazing experience. But yeah, I get it. Feminine. Like, it's going that direction with it. I'd have to hear everything she said to know, though. To see where she was going with it. Okay, this isn't me. Well, it's a good thing I didn't release those songs, because I didn't like either one. Ellender said that it reminded him of the Space Saga. He still listens to sometimes, that it's a cool collection. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I am proud of that one. There's some good songs in there, good production, a lot of interesting different little layers of melodies woven together, and I worked really hard on that, so there's some of my favorites are in there for sure. March of Titans, I love a bunch of songs on there. White Step, I really love White Step. There's a couple from my first album that I like a lot. Thanks, JK160. Yeah, I'm really proud of that one, and that's one where I can listen back to a song, especially if I haven't heard it in a while, and appreciate it and just think, wow, okay, that I achieved a really good sound with that. The mix is nice. The songwriting's good. There's vocal hooks, and it's not just slop. And I'm proud of that one. And I iterated, talk about iterating on something. I mean, I iterated on that several times. Going, okay, this 20-second part is dull. What's gonna be here? And just decorating it through and through. I was in the zone for that one. Walmart. I haven't been to a Walmart in so long. And so Mrs. Fornull and I the other day, I needed to get a storage crate to cover the sprinkler valves outside, so the sun doesn't just hit that plastic and where the automatic sprinkler valves are. So I went to one of those mega Walmarts. And we don't go to stores that much. We go to the grocery store every once in a while. And maybe a hobby store for to buy a puzzle, or I might need paint brushes or little files or something like that. But we're not going, I haven't been to a Target in forever. We don't go to stores. We don't go shopping and stuff. But anyways, we went to the Walmart, and it was like one of those mega ones, and that was kind of fun, actually. Just because it had been so long. And it was nice inside, and got to walk around and look at all the stuff. And I found my storage crate. It was only $8, so that was pretty good. Sonny Jim says, I have a first-class honors degree in music, majoring in composition. I'm not claiming appeal to authority fallacy. Just saying, I've used my ears intently for decades, more than people usually do. Yes, well, training your ears is a thing. When you are a sound engineer, or you are being a sound engineer for a while, your ears get trained. And I have like good studio monitors and soundproofing and all that, and so it's like anything. You practice it, you learn how to hear the different frequencies to the point where you know how it's going to sound on every different stereo phone, whatever. You A/B it, the whole time when I'm doing an album, I'm taking songs that I really love, that I think sound great, and then I have a switch, where my music's playing, and I just flip a switch and it's that other song playing, and that's called A/B. You have my song A, that song B, and just A/B testing it on different speakers and really analyzing it very closely to hear, okay, how are they making it sound so wide, so full, yet so much space? And hear the space. There's so much headroom, there's so much three-dimensional space to the sound, and you get in that mindset where you've got it. You're hearing it, and you know what to do to achieve it. And then once you have that, and that takes a while to get to that point if you're not doing it all the time. But once you're in that state, And waking up each day is so fun. Not that it isn't anyways, but, you know, you're just like, oh, what am I, you know, I'm gonna write the next song, and I've already got this amazing sound dialed in studio or whatever, so yeah, it's fun. Later he is. Have a good one. She's tuckered out. She has to head to bed. Sweet dreams. What Yiz is short for. Of course, my dirty mind thinks of a different word when I see Yiz, but the word. Bit Promethean here. Gizzard? Gizzard the lizard gizzard? Wizard? Gizzard the wizard. I bet you Yiz has played a magic user before in D&D. We'll have to ask her next time she's here. Just what's her favorite type of character to play in role-playing games? Does she play the magic ones, or the warriors, or the sneaky ones, the thieves? Something completely different. Just with the Y, not a J. I know. Yazandra, yeah? I'm sure it wasn't just pulled out of her ass, so to speak. There has to be some history or something behind that. I love that picture. His sword all covered in blood. It's like it doesn't even look like blood, but it looks awesome. And Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, yep. I've listened to some of their stuff. They have a few interesting songs. If they're the ones I'm thinking of, they use the micro tuning sometimes, where it's not the 12 note tuning that we use for all of our music, but there's notes in between the notes. They have those guitars that have the different layouts on them so they can make those other notes. And I've listened to a bunch of that. Have you guys listened to any microtonal music? I've listened to quite a bit, trying to... My theory is, okay, or my thoughts on it is, when I first hear it, this sounds like shit. It sounds terrible. It's dissonant and ugly. But then I keep an open mind. I'm thinking, all right, maybe I'm so accustomed to Western tuning in Western music that it's just so foreign I can't relate to it any way. You know, because is the 12-tone tuning, is it objectively better, or is it just subjective? And how would we know? I'm sure there, you know, and I've listened to many people theorize about why it's better and why it isn't, and so anyways, I did spend a little time trying to accustom myself to the sounds of it, and because that's worked before, you know, when there's been music that I'm told is good, and I'm going, no, this doesn't sound good, it sounds weird, it's not doing anything for me. And people say, well, it's an acquired taste, and so I will do the work, I'll put in the work to acquire the taste, and lo and behold, sometimes I acquire the taste, and then it's like, wow, okay, I love this. And how am I hearing this differently now? How is this pleasing to me? And it's not just because it's repetitive. I've heard it over and over again, although that's, you know, there is something to that for sure. But then other things I'll try, and it's just, nope, nah, this just sucks. If it's good, I don't get it, and I don't want to get it. Well, Hallander, there is a harmony, but I get what you're saying. Because of the ratios in Western music, it is physically, the physics of the sound are harmonic. They make sense mathematically, and that means they are doing things with waves that our brain's going to interpret a certain way, and it's going to be pleasing. But I imagine with some of the microtonal that there are harmonies in that as well. It's just the movement through the different keys and the different notes and stuff that is so unfamiliar. So anyways, long story short, I wish I would have written down what this artist's name was, but I did finally find an artist who made music that I enjoyed that was microtonal, and it was really interesting music. It wasn't just like electronic or what, you know, there was guitars, there was lush parts and heavy parts, and the guy was really good, and I wish I would have remembered it, because it could all just be bullshit, me saying that, but it really did happen. And it wasn't, but here's the thing, it wasn't as good as like what we're hearing behind me talking, you know, or like Hallander or anything that we love. It didn't have that, but it still is pretty good. Like, did any of you listen to jazz at all? And I'm not talking about bebop and stuff. Like, I'm talking about white people jazz, like Alan Holdsworth. You guys ever listen to Alan Holdsworth? He was like Eddie Van Halen's hero of guitar. And when I first started listening to Alan Holdsworth, or trying to listen to it, it just sounded weird and chaotic and not good. But over time, watching live videos that had like great production, and these musicians are amazing, over time, there would, you know, I acquired a taste for a couple of the songs, but now I like a lot of it. I mean, I could listen to whole albums and just be totally into it. So, kind of weird. Kind of weird how that happens. Well, that's a good point, No White Guilt. You dig into something, and if it's garbage, you come up empty-handed, right? You invest that time, you mine it, you're mining it, you're working with it, you're trying to make it make sense, and either it doesn't make sense or it's, beyond me to make sense of it, and you move on. But I believe wholeheartedly, from the human perspective, from the white man's perspective, white man being the male and female, mankind, white man in that sense, there is objective beauty in music, in art, in people, nature, whatever. It's not subjective, I don't think. I mean, yeah, you could be psychologically damaged to the point where the beauty, you have an aversion to it, but I think that's different. Microtonal death metal. Okay, I've never heard that. And I've heard a lot of crazy death metal. And that's something I can totally get into. I mean, even in my 50s, I'll still rock out to crazy, brutal music. And I'll kind of become self-aware sometimes, like, oh, this is kind of silly. It's kind of silly that I'm this older guy and I'm totally into this, like I'm a young man, just feeling the rush of it. Kind of funny, because it's not going to look right. It looks cool when young dudes are rocking out and feeling that aggressive, awesome vibe that you get off of really heavy, hard music, but you see an old guy doing it and you're like, oh man. It's funny because when I was young, I was at shows all the time, playing shows, watching other bands, my friends' bands, going to tons of concerts, not like pop stars or, I did go see some big bands, but, just clubs. And there'd always be the old dudes hanging out there. Sometimes they were kind of crazy, kind of nutty. And I'd think, oh man, that's going to be me someday, huh? Because I'm not going to be able to give it up. I'm going to want to keep coming and, taking part in the scene and seeing the bands and stuff. But it's a young man's thing at the same time. So maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be done with it. And lo and behold, I'm done with it as far as going to clubs and stuff. I have no urge to do it. Let the young people have it. You're barely a day past 35. Come now. Jason. Yeah, Jason. Jason's not a spring chicken, and look at him though. Jealous. That's what clean living and exercise and all that stuff gets you. I did not until later in life. I mean, I wasn't like a cocaine addict or anything, or heroin, but abused the body a little bit. A little. Not too, I never was an alcoholic, but was a total stoner, so. And that's why I have so much brain damage. I could probably be a genius. I could have been a contender, you guys. But I smoked all my brain cells away. But at least I can do Dragonsynth Adventures. Be mildly entertaining for a few hours. Fornull, all you have to do is shave your head and get a good wig. You'll look 13 years younger. Why would I have to shave my head first? I'm just getting the wig. You know a good wig guy? I'm getting the wig. I'm doing it. No, I felt like I was done with it even while I was going to those clubs and events. Well, because you're smart. Yeah. You're a genius, Fornull. Well, what I am, and I'll tell you, this has worked for me. And I try and encourage my kids to be the same way, my sons, but I don't think I'm... I have some capabilities. I have a pretty good brain. I have a big head, so there's a big brain in there. But my strength is, I don't have a super quick wit most of the time. Occasionally, if I'm not, now, it seems like when I'm not paying attention, then all of a sudden all this stuff comes out. But when I'm trying, I can never drum up anything. But what I do is I home in on something and then I just dig into it for way longer than most people have the endurance to do. If I want to understand something that is beyond my reach conceptually, it's beyond that, then I will work on it. I'll write things out. I'll read what other people have thought about it. I'll discuss it with other people. I'll argue about it. And I just keep going and going and going and then finally, and practicing, if it's a skill or whatever, and just relentless. And then eventually I can get good. I can grasp that thing, and then I become good at it, and that's fun for me, because it seems like anything that I want to be good at, I can follow a process and I can become good at it. Now there are things where it never works out. I can't get good at it, either because I'm not interested enough, or I can't do it. But most things, and so that's my strength. I don't think I'm really a genius, but I am persistent and a hard worker, and I have no problem just slaving away to understand something, to get good at something. And that's fun. Toupee, Fornull, please, no. Hat saves time and money. Well, a toupee is a hat. A toupee, it's a wig hat. I'm gonna have to get some cool wig hats. Just kidding. When Ivan was 19, Ivan got a bald spot on the back of Ivan's noggin and started shaving it. Turns out Ivan's bald spot came from laying on Ivan's headboard for Ivan hours. For 11 hours. Well, there you go. So you rubbed your head a bald spot. You rubbed your head a bald spot. That's funny. Did it grow back? Oh, you need to shave so the double binding wig tape will hold. Well, there's other methods. It's not like I'm going to be shaking it around super hard. You know, all my wigs are going to have a chin strap. And then they can call me Chin Strap Fornull. And that's going to be my bit, you know, my gag, my gimmick. It's gonna be my gimmick. Is that chin strap. And then if I grow a real luxurious beard, I can hide the chin strap. Still functional. But if I get a chin strap from my wig, it has to have the pad like a football helmet. The old ones. I don't know what football helmet. I don't even pay attention to football. And I absolutely love football. I mean, like when white guys were playing it. And it was a battlefield. And every game was a dramatic story being played out with your heroes out there just bashing the shit out of each other and doing all this crazy, amazing stuff. Football was the coolest. And hockey. And now I don't even know what their shit looks like. But back in the day, you had a chin strap with like a pad on it. That's what I need for my wig. Roused Rose thinks I've gone off the deep end about this, so you could be right. Ivan is the opposite of Fornull, writes Ivan, if you couldn't tell from the phrasing. Ivan has a horrendous work ethic, but sometimes will take to something like a fish to water and learn it rapidly. Well, that's good that you can do that. My work ethic is my biggest strength. Because I was conditioned so crazily by my father, doing all the different sports, fighting, training at home, lifting weights. I mean, I had no free time, and I was getting A's, and until a certain point when I finally wore out. But as a young man, but from the beginning, you know, till when I left home, I was conditioned like a warrior every day. And I used to hate my dad for it. I used to just think I was abused or something. But then when I wisened up a little bit and had some distance from it, and I saw that because of that conditioning, it was almost effortless for me to just spend insane amounts of time mastering a skill, and it wasn't painful for me. I just would force myself to do it because I could, and I liked the results. And then I was like, oh my God, I owe him so much for doing that. Better to be chin strapped than jock strap. Yeah. Well, if I engineered it right, the wig could be a jock strap instead of a chin strap. It could go all the way down, so there could be, you know, it could go back behind me, and and then up the front like a banana hammock. And then it splits in the front to 2 so it can go up to the sides. So it's like a 3 strands, 2 coming down the front, merging into 1, my cod piece, and then 1 up the back. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. That'll be the variation. That'll be like, okay, I'm doing the chin strap, I'm getting a lot of notoriety on the internet. People are talking about it. They're liking the wigs. They're liking the chin strap. I'm making some good money from it, and now I need to kick it into overdrive. I have to do something to mix it up, and then I come out with that, and it's like the crowd goes wild, and that's when I hit superstar status. That's what sends me over the top. Okay, finally I came up with something halfway decent for tonight. Took a while, I had to work up to that, but that was kind of funny. That's right, for white well-being. My father helped me tap into the great Western spirit. Absolutely, because we've all got it inside of us. We have it in us. And sometimes it takes a traumatic event. Sometimes it just takes years of conditioning, military, whatever. Bring it out. You could wear the jock strap over your mouth and look like Bane. Yes. Well, then I might be mistaken for one of those mask wearing people, you know, the ones that still wear the mask. You kind of wonder about that. What, are they just so ugly, or what is the deal? Why are they still wearing the mask? Wait, hold on. Is Hal still here, or did he leave? He might have gone to bed because it's probably super late. But I want to know, Is that supposed to be Anton right there? Did you make him a colored man? Oh, there's people yelling outside. Hold on, I gotta see what this is. Never mind. It's just the neighbor kids. I got the coolest neighbors. They're like, they're the most awesome parents, and they have 3 boys. And the boys are all super cool. And they're athletic and polite, well-mannered. They play catch with the baseball, the football. They ride around. One of them has like a mini bike, and they ride up and down the street with their little brother on it. And they're just like these parents are perfect. Whatever they're doing, it's awesome. Their kids are so good. Let's see. Not color correction. I don't want color correction. I want color key. And then I want to pick the color though. Hold on. Select color. Now I want to select pick from screen color. And now let me see what Hallander said. Yeah, that's Anton. I did him dirty, I know. That's funny. Gotta make these guys pretty funny. Yeah, cool. I could say, you merely adopted the jockstrap. I was born in it. I am become jockstrap. This song's too weird. Why didn't you guys tell me to skip it? It's just weird. Who listened to this? I'm giving it a 1 star. It'll help me avoid it in the future. Here, let me see if I can find... Oh, there's this one. I want to play you guys some of this music. You might not like it, but it's this artist. We've listened to him many times. Is Borg. He does the acoustic kind of medieval music, but he did an album that has a spaghetti western kind of theme, and there's vocals, and it's really cool. The artist's name is Borg. I didn't say that. I think I already did, but I might have just been thinking it. And let me find this album. It is so cool. Watch, I put it on. And do you ever have songs that you really like and then you want to show your friends? Especially when you're younger. And then when you put it on, you're just going, well, this sucks. This isn't as good as I thought. Now that I'm listening to it in front of someone, the same magic isn't happening. In fact, now I don't like it. Because if you haven't, then you wouldn't understand. But that happens to me. I don't know. I'm in some mental state where, oh, this song's just like, wow, it's just moving me somehow. It's doing something to my brain. And I want to share that experience with someone else, and I put it on and it's not that at all. Yeah, well. Let's see. So we'll start with that Cowboy Ding Dong. This is one of those songs. It sounded cooler before, yeah. Jay Bishop did a kick-ass workout, feeling good. Back now, I probably missed a lot of fun, but then again, I came back when Fornull said, I am become jockstrap. Yes, that would be a funny line to come back to. Well, good for you. Good job doing your workout. I did my workout today as well, and it felt good. Yeah, Jason. Exactly. You're thinking, how has this music failed me? How could you fail me? You need your confidence jockstrap to make it sound better, absolutely. When I'm wearing my confidence jockstrap, everything sounds better. Because I just will it to sound better. My raw charisma is just manipulating the fabric of reality so that it's just however it's going to hit people in an awesome way. They're like, yes! That's what the confidence jockstrap does. It's going to be talking like Bane all night. Confidence bras. Let's see, the woman could have the wig with the chin strap that actually goes under their breasts if they were big enough, and that could be. Or, well, and I don't want to offend any females by thinking this through too detailed, but like how mine had the thing that went down the back and then, you know, between my legs and then up and it split. Well, they already make bikinis for girls that are like that, but instead of it going to their shoulders, it just goes to your wig. Yeah, it just goes to your wig. Anywho. What did the saggy boob say to the other saggy boob? What did it say? Let us know. She's making us wait with anticipation. Anticipation. It's making me wait. Fabric, raw, and jockstrap in one sentence, yes. Did I do it, or was that a request? Fornull, okay, here's the answer. What did the saggy boob say to the other saggy boob, everybody? We better get some support before people think we're nuts. Good one. That's a good one. A good one. That's a wholesome boob joke. Okay, Roused Rose, are you going to meet me in the kitchen so I can get a bowl of like some kind of terrible snack stuff that we went and bought that we shouldn't have, but that is so delicious. We went and bought these like bar snack things just to splurge a little, and they're so good, and I want some right now. I want it right now! Okay, I'll see you in a second. I'll be right back. What in the hell? I thought I was leaving you with spaghetti western music. Okay, well, this is that then. I don't think I've even heard this one. See, this is what I was talking about. Total garbage. Garbage. But every once in a while, still a little splurge. And then back on it. It's okay because I don't eat any kind of grain or anything in my regular food. Spaghetti metal, is that Borg? Yeah, spaghetti metal, that's a great term. Absolutely. Well, that's cool, Samuski. Not everyone likes it. I like it, but it could be a crowd thinner sometimes. What's he doing on this one? Okay, we'll keep going. I like this one. That rabbit painting, that's Albrecht Dürer from the 1500s. Isn't that cool? That guy was an amazing artist. Yeah, Dürer is one of my favorite artists, and it's just so impressive. You know, when you see that art that's 600 years old or whatever, and they were so advanced at that point. You know, they'll try and tell you, oh, we didn't have foreshortening and perspective, and then you see some super old thing where someone had already done it, just got no recognition for it. Well, Albrecht Dürer did. I mean, he's famous. Samuski writes, Fornull, I love how you showcase the best of Western art, music, and culture in the montage style you do. It's whimsical, moving, and the crowd and conversation are second to none. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate that. That was really nice of you to say that. Jason writing, the relaxed Fornull in tank top is from the Raw album. Yeah. He's singing You're Like Poison, yep. One thing I appreciate about this artist is these are mostly acoustic instruments, so he's playing all those parts. I'm guessing it's mostly him. One guy. And that's quite a feat. That's really cool. And your music has so much more character when you're playing the different parts. Not just programming it, on a computer, but actually playing them, feeling those notes, the placement, the timing, that's all a person, in the moment expressing whatever they feel in that music and recording it, and that's just so much better to me than the mechanical kind of stuff, even though I like some of the mechanical stuff. Okay, I think I've just discovered the penultimate bar mix for the crunchy stuff, the crunchy bad for you, just carbs and whatever. And that is the spicy, and I don't know what brand we got, but it's like the good stuff. We go to Bevmo to get it because they don't, the stuff at the grocery store is not good. It's like not as dense, but it's the spicy bar mix with the Snyder's so big and bright sweet mustard pieces, and you mix those together, and that's pretty good. The only thing left there for me is probably totally terrible for you though. And the only thing left there for me is the dust and the That's cool, Hallander. Pre-spaghetti western. You know, spaghetti westerns, that's one thing I love about them is the primitive aspect of it. The wastelands, the vast open lands, and the low population little villas and these things. They just inspire the imagination, and I think it works perfect for fantasy as well. In fact, in our campaign, I consciously try and make it have an Old West feeling, but with magic, because I love all those old Clint Eastwood movies and all the good westerns where they've got that feel. I love that. There's something very calming and, I don't know, kind of wondrous about it. Especially the Clint Eastwood movies. I'm a big fan of those. The old ones, the first ones. Those are really good for me.
We mortals are but shadows and dust. Shadows and dust.
Oh yeah, Vex Peril. Ennio Morricone, great, love it. I mean, you listen to those soundtracks, those were, he did the soundtracks for the Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and some other ones. Those are amazing, really interesting, and I think this guy is totally inspired by that. I'm not familiar with the others, but I'll definitely check those out.
What I've lost to ash and dust.
Oh, cool, Hallander. So yeah, you're picking up on that.
What are we holding on to? I don't know. Hold on. What are you holding on to? Hold on. Maybe it's best if we just keep holding on. Holding on and holding out. For dear life. Hold on.
I'm not really a fan of this painting. It's interesting, though, how those big, blobby shapes can make that image. I can see that clearly, what that is from those shapes. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Impressionism normally, but some of it's okay. I think it was Boss Klutwick. If it's not anti-white, it is the story of an anti-white man who thought... Because what it does is it portrays this guy who is kind of a racial bigot a little bit. Which, in all of us, there's a natural... We want to, we're going to prefer our own people. We're going to want to be around our own people's culture and environment. So, I mean, that's one thing. And when we see someone from a different race, moving into our neighborhood or whatever, that is a legitimate threat to the harmony of the society, the community. And so there is, naturally going to be a type of animosity, because in a way, it's not just this blind hatred of the other. There's logic behind it, whether people realize it or not. to some extent. But in that movie, he's like the caricature of a bigot, kind of of what the anti-whites call a racist. And it's a caricature. It's shallow. It's not... It seems deep at first, and you're going, wow, this guy's tough. And he's sticking up for a way of life that he believes in. But then it seems like the way it ends is like... The moral of the story is you're a nice guy if you give up your stuff to non-whites, because they're just like us. I mean, that's what it felt like to me. And so the message seemed anti-white to me. And if circumstances make it so that you don't have white people around you or whatever, you know, then I can see, okay, well, then that's a good thing to just get along and be fair and be just.
Come walk with me.
So yeah, in that way it's kind of sneaky. I don't know. Because, you know, he lives in that neighborhood. It's all white erased. And he's kind of the last man standing in a way. And yeah, it's a tough one. There are definitely meme pathogens in that movie, though. Oh, hey, look, we made it. The movie No White Guilt I'm talking about is Gran Torino. Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood, where he lives in this neighborhood that's been totally white erased, and he has this beautiful Gran Torino. And he becomes... not a friend, but I guess by the end. But there's this young, like, Hmong kid or Asian kid, and it's kind of this story of how we're all just the same, in my opinion, like this, you know, we all bleed red sort of thing. But there's some really good scenes in the movie, and I really liked it when I first saw it. Before I thought it through, and when I saw it later, it's just like, oh no, okay, I can't do this. I see what they're doing, but yeah. Anyways, hey, we made it. I really tonight, sorry if it wasn't as good as usual, or, you know, not much, didn't have a whole lot to talk about. But it was fun hanging out with all you guys, listening to the music, looking at the art. And as always, Mondays are good. Kind of a recharge. Doing this. Yeah, he gives the car to that kid in the end. Thanks, Jason. I appreciate that. Wasn't a mud, yes. Well, I mean... That's funny, Boss Klutwick. But, I mean, I don't think of it that way. I'm looking more at the message, the deceptive messaging behind it, more than you know, this race is worse than that race, so at least it wasn't that. But, you know, at a gut level, I get what you're saying. I do. All right. Well, thank you everybody for hanging out. I had a lot of fun. And, yeah, thanks for hanging out. Movie was so anti-white, says JK160. Yeah, it's been so long since I saw it, so I'm kind of struggling to remember. But I did watch it later and remember it hitting me totally different and me just going, no, like, absolutely not. I don't like this movie anymore. Just can't remember enough to recall different scenes and point it out. Anyways, all right. Good night, you guys. Have a great rest of the week. We got through Monday, so the whole rest of the week, smooth sailing. And all that good stuff. Promethean farewells. See you next time. Dragonsynth. Oh, adventures. Well, we're flying through the air on a synthesizer, baby. Dragonsynth. Oh, adventures. Well, the music sounds so beautiful, and I love it all so much. Dragonsynth Adventures.